2021 and in India it is perfectly legal for a man to rape a woman as long as they're married.
ये आपकी अपनी बीवी क्यों ना? No means no.
In 1900 BCE in Babylon, a man could be sentenced to death for forcing sex upon someone's wife or daughter on the grounds of vandalizing someone else's property. In most other parts of the ancient world, the earliest laws defined rape as a property crime against the husband or father rather than the woman herself. And rape was not possible within a marriage because a man could do whatever he wanted with his property, aka his wife. But this notion wasn't left behind in the ancient world. In the 17th century, be it in the Qing dynasty or the British Empire, even though rape laws evolved to view rape as a crime against the woman herself, it was on the grounds of violation of her sexual purity. This was not considered possible in a marriage because a woman's purity could not be spoiled by her husband, of course. A British jurist even said that marriage was a legal contract by which a woman gave herself to her husband for life. In the 18th and 19th centuries, with the growth of the middle class mentality and Victorian morality, this emphasis on women's chastity increased, and rape began to be perceived as a threat women faced outside the household, which their fathers and husbands had to protect them from. It was under the influence of these laws and attitudes that the Indian Penal Code was drafted in 1860. Section 375 categorically excluded marital rape from the definition of rape. Fast forward to a century and a half later, activist movements have led to many progressive changes in India's anti-rape laws in 1983, in 2002, in 2012, and again in 2013. And yet, the exception granted to marital rape still stands. Why? In 2012, in response to a judicial committee's recommendation to criminalize marital rape, a parliamentary standing committee responded that doing this would put the entire family system under great stress. Since then, politicians and public figures have reiterated that criminalizing rape within a marriage will destroy marriages and create absolute anarchy in families. But is this argument even surprising? It harks back to the idea that marriage makes a woman her husband's sexual property, and giving him sex whenever he wants is a wife's duty. We reinforce this sexual subjugation of women in marriage in different ways, through religious rituals, social festivals, and in our popular culture. On the one hand, this sexual subjugation is shown to be harmless, and on the other hand, news media, TV shows, and movies reinforce the mindset that the threat of rape or sexual violence only comes from monstrous outsiders. But here are the facts. Over 80% of married women who are victims of sexual violence report their current husbands as the perpetrators. 9% report a former husband. Over 50 countries around the world have outlawed marital rape. Feminist movements around the world are emphasizing the importance of sexual consent and empowering women to report sexual violence no matter how powerful the perpetrator. And yet, India continues to uphold a man's right to rape his wife. The fight to criminalize marital rape in India then is not just about changing the law on paper. It is about attacking the age-old mindset that still views a woman as her husband's property and not as an individual with her own agency. It's about fighting against this notion of marital sanctity that is based on the subjugation of women. And it is about challenging this larger rape culture that denies women our basic rights, respect, and bodily autonomy. That's it for the latest video in the Overthinking It series. If you like our content, please don't forget to like, share, subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to hit that bell icon so you stay updated.